All right. Greatness is yours once you claim it. I am Keystone. I am a synthesizer of energy, frequencies, and information that generates increases of consciousness, self awareness, and self love for those who do not know who they are or the power they possess. This is Code Red. Enter into yourself, retrace your steps, and learn to fully absolve and let go of the guilt, hurt, pain, drama, anything that's non beneficial that is thriving inside of you, and allow yourself to transcend into a healthier state of being. Welcome to the introspection. You've been expecting you. I appreciate your time and energy, and let's get into it. Today, we're going to be speaking about establishing your frequency for your freedom. And the frequency, well, basically, as I shared before many times, and I will never stop to bring to your attention that everything in this dimension is of energy. There's nothing that it has been established or will be established without some form of energy. And the better your energy, the purer your energy, the better off things can be. But what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to touch on, just bring some insight to another level of how to look at things that in a total different manner than the way it's been given to us throughout our life, and definitely through the public food system. Again, information, conversation, emotions, your food, your physical being, anything that's in existence, is of energy and is housing energy, and energy never dies, it only transfers. So if you think you could kill energy, that'll never happen. You may stop it in its current form or its present form at that time, but the energy contained within it is gone somewhere else. So that's one of those things that man is attempting to control as well. And it was energy, frequency, vibrations, and light. Everything existed way before man even became established. So nature got another one up on them. So I'm gonna go with this. All right. So want to touch on give a better in a little insight on basically introducing yourself, you to yourself, and the change or the adjustment or the increase or however you want to measure your ups and your downs. It all takes place inside first. There's no way that you can experience something outside of you that didn't happen, inside first. So I want to touch on your senses, well, I'm going to touch on the senses, but I just want to, emphasize that people are more in tune with stuff outside of them than they are themselves. I mean, people that have cars, and, they want 93 octane in it. You better not put the 87 there, ain't no 87 in there. And then you top-notch synthetic oil and, other things and enhancements and everything to make the car run more efficient and, give it more power, give it more, it takes up more energy, so on and so forth. But nobody, I can't say nobody, but the major majority of the people don't take that time and that energy and that effort to put that type of potential possibility for themselves. And I mean, just imagine, like I said, 93 octane compared to 87 octane, I believe is definitely over $1 and some change as far as difference in the price. But hey, it's my car. It's worth it. I paid X amount of dollars on that sticker. It says 93 octane only or 92, whatever, wherever you're from. And that's all you're putting in there. They're bitch and moan and damn near kill you if, you tell them you put 87 in there. So again, take that and imagine if people were like that about the food they consumed. Like, oh man, get that damn chopped barbecue sandwich on my face, man. Give me a couple bananas and some pineapple and some blueberries. That's the direct correlation from 93 octane gas to 87 octane gas from that acidic food and that's horrible for the body compared to fresh food that's fed from the sun. So a lot of that is in part that people truly don't comprehend or understand truly how they're affected by what they take in. And I just said food. I mean, even same thing with your programming as far as what you watch on TV. I mean, everything that you're hearing right now outside of what I'm speaking, if you're looking at TV, is going to be, something non-beneficial for you, whether it's drama, what I'm saying, all the fights and talking shit about people and judging people, so on and so forth. So when that's what you consume, that's what you put out. Again, I'm going to share, never stop sharing that. You can't put out what you don't put in. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the TV, the major majority of the TV that you watch is drama filled and basically nothing that's going to be beneficial to you outside of you learning new cuss words or how to say something, how to chop somebody down. If that's beneficial in your life and it's going to take you to where you want to go, then hey, have at it. Continue. Don't stop on my account. But when I speak, I'm speaking to those that want to increase what they have and go beyond what they currently are. And even if it's not an immediate impact, but at least looking for that one. I can reach that one and my job is done, because after that one is going to reach another one. There's going to be a chain reaction and it's a ripple effect. And just with that being on what you would consider a positive or beneficial frequency, it acts the same way when it's negative. So you can share the frequency or energy of negativity, or you can rise above that and put yourself on another level. It's a choice is yours. You don't have to be bogged down by negativity. All you got to do is snip it and it's done. So by the media or whatever you take, like I said, nothing wrong with sports. Well over half of my life I've been into sports, and now understand the physical part, what I'm saying, as far as keeping my body in tune and increasing what I'm able to do. Because if you basically like the wealthy says, your health is your wealth. If you're not in good health, you definitely can't get wealth for a prolonged period of time. You may be able to hit it hard, real quick, and whatever you eating on or however you treating your body's gonna break down. Then there you go from that. But the beautiful thing is that if you turn to nature, nature can reverse any adverse effects that man has on something living. That remains to be disputed and proven that it doesn't happen. Anybody that's proved it and established it, they've pretty much no longer here. Those that feel me, they feel me. So all right, so by you not fully comprehending that your body is like that car, that $75,000 car that only takes 93 octane, what I'm saying, synthetic oil and all these extra pieces, you need the premier super duper spark plugs, and you need the copper wound with gold and platinum tip, wires to connect to the spark plugs and all this exotic stuff. But when it comes to your body, you settle for eating shit. You're treating your body like shit because you're shoving the shit in your mouth, and that's what you're consuming. And again, the body is adaptable. We're created to be eternal, but the way that man lives, that's what makes us mortal. We are eternal beings that adopted and accepted a mortal way of living, which is very evident today when people want to put synthetic stuff in your body to cure something that is natural, as far as my vessel, my body, my temple. So along my path, coming across information that pretty much broke down, gave me a deeper understanding of how my body functions and how if something breaks down within my body, whatever it, depending upon the chain reaction and what happens is that wherever the damage at, that means the other organs or other body parts are going to have to work that much harder to compensate for the work that's not being done from the damaged body part or organ or whatever. But again, once that breaks down and you never do anything to reestablish it and put it back in harmony with everything else in your body, that then the secondary one is going to break down because now it's working overtime and double and triple time, or as far as the effort, because it's attempting to uphold the function that this was doing. Because the show, like you say, the show has to go on, and the body definitely operates as such. We're built to be eternal. So I imagine that the reason why that is so if that breaks down, your body don't break down immediately, but that tells you that, okay, I need to address this and repair this and get it back in order so everything will flow. But you pop a pill and it just deals with the symptom, but it doesn't go and resolve the root of the problem. And there lies our diseases. Your diseases, you're diseased, you're out of rhythm, you're out of tune, your body's not operating, as it should be in harmony. I mean, just look at the words, your organs, music, what I'm saying? Organ, that's music. And within yourself, like I say, everything is vibrating. So you can't hear it, but doctors with the stethoscope, they could hear all kind of stuff going on in your body. But we can't hear from the way that we live now. But I know definitely that was very possible. So by understanding, like, okay, so then when I got to understand or have a better understanding of how the mind works, see, that's where pretty much that was where the key hit the lock for me, and I heard it click. Once the mind was broke down to the point where I saw, like, oh shit, this it was deep. Like, as I share, if school would share the information, or however you want to say it, like this, or in whatever form, but definitely something that can be relatable, that you can definitely see, and because you experience yourself every day, but you don't know yourself. You know yourself from the way they tell you in the textbook, but they're only going to give you that much information compared to what's really out there, and it's all controlled. So if you want more information, you got to pay for it. Just go get your degree. So now you go get yourself in debt. That's the only way you're going to find out about yourself. And unfortunately, that's a horrible way to do it. But then the alternative is to be self-taught the way that it was done in the ancient days. You didn't pay for education. If you did, you were, I don't know, indentured servant, or, whoever your guru was, you did the house cleaning, or, there was some form of exchange, but it wasn't currency per se. It was exchange of energy. So, definitely the brain was so fascinating. I've shared plenty of times that once I found out the purpose of the neurons, and that's what, that's basically the freeway of information. And so just think of like a path going through the grass, in between like some neighbors that, basically a shortcut. Everybody can relate to that. So, what a shortcut is, because in between the houses or wherever the path is, it's going to be beaten. It's going to be worn down. The grass is going to be on the outside. But that path that everybody walks for, that shortcut, it leads you right to where you're going. And so that's how the brain operates as far as the neurons. And so old and like, not old, well, yeah, old, thoughts that's been beat in your head forever, basically, again, those negative thoughts for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, yeah, they, they don't even need, they know where to go. That path is beaten. So what has to happen, you have to form new direction, more neurons that's on a positive level. So what I had to do, that little skin surface scratch of positivity throughout your day doesn't last. You know what I'm saying? You may give one effort and attempt to be positive and it's shot down, and now you just, the hell with it. No, you have to do it repeatedly, the same way that you're negative. You're negative people. You're not negative one time. You're negative all the time. And by you attempting to be positive one time, that doesn't work. You have to be that much more diligent in overriding that negative programming, unless you're the type that likes drama and negativity, and that's what you thrive on. I mean, that's just like, saltwater fish. A fish in salt water or fresh water, and you switch them up, they can't survive. They don't know how to operate. They're not built for that. And unfortunately, people make themselves so toxic that they can't thrive in a truly nourishing, virtuous, positive environment. It's a struggle, and yeah, it's uncomfortable, but if that's where you desire and that's what you want, then that's what you shall do. But if you choose to give it one shot, I mean, just like anything that you accomplish, I mean, even myself with whatever, my sports, football. Yeah, oh man, I tried it one time. I got hit and I'm done. Nah, you got to go. You got to learn, and bumps and bruises, fall down, get up, learn how to adapt and adjust. And then once you get yourself together, then you're able to compete, to go against others and basically what's out there in their environment. So that's what you have to desire. So that's the same thing with learning yourself and being positive. I mean, you're around a bunch of negative people, negative, toxic environment, and yeah, it's going to feel different when you remove yourself or as you move yourself, because number one, again, as I shared, the chickens don't like other chickens leaving the coop. They truly don't. Like, damn, how the hell he fly? I tried, but you know what I'm saying? It's something you gotta keep doing. So like I said, the better understanding you have about yourself, how your brain, how your body, and everything is one, once you comprehend and understand and accept that everything is of one and it's one unit, it's not separate, you're the bad and the good. Because you can't have the bad if you don't have the good, and vice versa. But the thing is you are accustomed to letting the bad preside you, to be, to be before you. You know what I'm saying? When you come around, or whenever you speak, they already know what it is. And then likewise for somebody on the positive side, oh man, here come that positive guy. He talk about his positivity. So again, ice water cannot coexist with boiling water. It can't happen. So all right. So what I'm going to do is excuse me real quick. All right. So I'm going to talk on your senses. In school or school, we're given 5 senses, and we got the sight, feel, smell, hearing, and taste. Yeah, those are 5 senses. So the thing with that is, as far as that's it. You got your sight, which is your eyes. So you're like, okay, that makes sense. You don't know anything different. You got your feel, which is your touch, but you think your hand, but I share that it's your skin. Your skin is one big finger. If you want to look at it like that, that's your touch. Your touch. Then you got your smell, which is through your nose. Then your hearing is your ears, and your taste is your tongue. So those are the senses that are given to us. And so for our life, that's when it comes to senses, that's all we have. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know anything different. So what I do know through the information I attain and just through my experience of living and going on this path, all of those senses are surrounded around physical attributes or physical body parts, or just the physical itself. So for instance, like your feel, like I said, your skin. So anything that your skin touches or touches your skin, that's something that's physical, that's material. unless, wind or something like that, but still it's touching you physically. You know what I'm saying? It's making contact with you, because if it don't make contact with you, unless your sense of energy is that evolved that you could feel just energy, but the majority of us cannot do that. Not yet. So, saying materialistic, something that's tangible. So that's basically, not even basically, so that's what we have in our physical form. That's what the skin is for. So that's our way of sensing anything, you know what I'm saying? So when, I'm sure in the beginning, when, we were created as we are and in our current form in the flesh, the purpose of the being that sense of touch was for survival or living, because again, we are, without a doubt, we're a dumbed down version, and take it personal if you want to, but we're a dumbed down version of the version that we were a long time ago. And if you're real with yourself and not fooling yourself, you can acknowledge that even you are probably more wore down. I guess that'd be a better way to state it. You're more wore down as you get older than when you're younger. So that's what's happened to us in our human form, in our flesh form. So I'm sure the touch was for, you could feel vibrations and frequencies. I'm able to feel the heat. If something is hot, I can feel it. Shoot, I'm going to do that. Or if something's too cold. So that allowed me to make a decision at that point in time for my survival or for my thriving. But I'm just going to say survival, because I'm sure they didn't have houses and rooms and doors and carpet and a door lock and so many things to protect them from out in nature, out in the natural. So your sense of touch is definitely necessary. I mean, if you didn't have that sense of touch, how do you know, what's harmful? That's number one, what's harmful or what's beneficial. So that's, just a briefing on the sense of touch, the purpose of touch, that, originally that's what it is. But the way we live our life now, you don't have to, somebody's going to tell you what's bad for you and what's good for you. And you're not supposed to use your brain. So that's where we're at right now. So that's why I say we're a dumbed down version, because I'll just leave it at that. Then, hearing. All right. So hearing, with the ears, and the purpose of hearing, I'm sure is obvious, but to the degree that hearing is necessary. I mean, we know that dogs or animals have a higher, a more increased sensitivity as far as what they hear. What I'm saying? They can hear those higher pitches of sound that we can't hear with our human ear. So when I was little, I remember in the back of the comic books and stuff, they would have that dog whistle, and somebody bought it and like, that thing don't work, but I ain't no dog. So you blow it, and they're blowing, but I guess whatever the pitch now, and understand that it's the frequency that the sound is making. That's far out of the realm of what we're able to hear, because as you get older in our human form, our hearing gets worse. So maybe that may work for like an infant, what I'm saying, as far as them being able to hear. But as they get older, your body depletes. So with the hearing, that definitely has to be something for survival, beneficial for survival. I mean, you're out in the wild. I'm saying wild, but meaning open, whatever, not claiming jungle, but you're out in the wild, out in nature, and the sooner that you can hear something, the better. I believe so. I mean, if something is coming forward you or coming your way that could be potentially dangerous, at least being able to be aware to hear where it's coming from, and then you could track it from there. Then you can make your decision on, okay, do I go for a tree, or do we break camp, or let's get ready to box? You make your decision based off of what you hear. So that's your other sense. And so what happened? Well, actually, I'm gonna continue this. I'm gonna go to the skin after. But so what ends up happening is that is something that's for survival. So with the people that's running everything, they, believe me, they're well aware of anything that I'm even speaking about and beyond. So with that being beneficial for survival, so what we're going to do is we need to, lessen that. So you become more dependent on what they say. So the music, the bass line, loud, the noises, excuse me, I'm just gonna speak on the noises, the loud music as far as the bass, the tweeters, the highs, and then you want everything loud because it definitely sounds good. If it's the song that you like, or if it's something that you're interested in, yeah, the higher the volume, it gives you the perception of enjoying it. Then you go to the movie theaters or even people's houses, and you got the stuff to sound like the movies in your ear. The people are talking. I mean, and so I can imagine just what your ear, the beating your eardrum takes. Then after a while, you got to get you one of those, hearing aid or whatever, and you wear yourself down. So out in the wild, I guarantee that your hearing is far more sensitive than it is within the city. And then also within that, we got electric waves going on, we live in an electrical magnetic field. That's something that can't be denied. So that's something that you can't physically hear yourself, but your subconscious is definitely hearing that. We just can't rate it, recognize it in our conscious mind, but it's there. So go to the skin real quick. So the same way that there was an attack on our hearing, same thing on the skin. You know what I'm saying? So we got to desensitize the skin. Because the skin and the hairs on the arm, and all of that is, for survival. That's the purpose. It's no other reason. And so we're going. Okay, you want to moisturize. So rather than go get something natural, some coconut oil or some jojoba or shea oil, shea butter, or anything, you grab the lotion, and the lotion, you turn it over and you read the ingredients, and the only ingredient that you probably recognize is was it purified water, purified water, and fragrance, red this or blue this, and a bunch of words that are like 15 syllables. You slapping that on your skin, and we're wearing clothing, so the more that something is on something, it wears it down and it desensitizes it. So not saying everybody should be walking around butt naked, but out in the wild, I mean, your whole body, that's what people don't understand, is your whole your all your flesh, your skin is the biggest organ. It's breathing, it's absorbing, it secretes. I mean, just take time to research actually what your skin does, and then research what you do to your skin. So if you want to moisturize, get your coconut oil again, shea butter, jojoba, any aloe. It's natural. And so what ends up happening is that you may not feel like you're moisturized because it's not going to be as thick and just coating as lotion is or whatever you choose, but it's get your body used to it. Let it get back to its natural, adaptability. You know what I'm saying? Let it get back to nature. Let your body function how it should be functioning. So excuse me real quick. All right. Whoa, good go. Oh boy. All right. Excuse me. Appreciate that. So with the lotion, slathering on the skin, coating, get back to natural. Allow your body to function as it's, as it was designed. There was nothing wrong with it before, so there's nothing wrong with it now. It's just a preference that you feel that being slicked down and slathered down with chemicals is the way that you're supposed to be. But to each his own. But once you find out that there are natural alternatives to the chemicals, it's just not gonna feel like it, but you're good to go. But it's all in perception. So then we got sight. Okay, sight is with your eyes, or with your eyes. So the way that your vision is attacked, you got the blue lights from the computer screens, the phones. Well, actually, let me backtrack. So your sight, your vision, is natural. What that is, that definitely plays a big role in survival because you hear it, okay, the direction, but your vision, I'm pretty sure you can see further than what you could hear. And so definitely I know you can understand how that'd be beneficial for survival, as far as improve eyesight and just being able to see, beyond just in front of you. So that definitely, I believe, added to the survival aspect of operating or living. Then okay, the barrage of the eyes are your, the computer screen, the cell phone, everything is a blue light. And it's not told that these are bad for you, but these are definitely what are not healthy for your vision. So after a while, people that look at a computer screen constantly, the vision goes out, the eyes do funny tricks, and you get floaters and so many different things. But again, nature provides a cure for everything that's wrong with you. But being man, believing in man and only knowing what man knows or what man allows you to know, meaning the people that are in control of the information, the gatekeepers, they're going to put you in a position where you got to come to us, again. Put on these glasses, not saying glasses are bad. I mean, definitely beneficial. But if you know that certain vitamins or you're deficient in certain vitamins or minerals or whatever, is wrong with your eyes, within a couple of days, weeks, or even dedicated to, a couple of months doing eye exercises and so on and so forth, building up your retinas, the muscles and everything. That's all it is. It's atrophy of your muscles. And lack of vitamins or minerals to whatever the eyes use as far as to keep them going. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But without having that information, you just get your glasses, and next thing you know, you're getting the thicker glasses. Then you get the thicker glasses with the line, and then you're getting the double line. And shoot, them glasses fall off. You might as well stand still because you don't know where you're going. So again, that's the physical aspect of the vision. And so, again, you could research eye exercises. You again, take time to learn you. Get from in front of that damn TV looking at these people living a scripted life. Why don't you, again, script your life or live your life unscripted? Attempt that. So the physical the physical noise, the smell, give me a second. All right, so smell naturally through the nose. So sense of smell, but the nose operates as also a way for us to intake oxygen and exhale. So basically the smell or the nose is definitely, the benefit of it, because when you inhale, you're taking in your oxygen, and then that is a way for you to get rid of your bodily waste, which is your carbon dioxide, the byproduct of the waste from the body after the oxygen runs through the system, through your blood, your lungs, your brain, and all your cells. And like I said, it's the broom, you know what I'm saying? It's sweeping up all the trash and you're breathing it out. So the nose operates as has dual function, naturally, you breathe through it, but also your sense of smell is there. And your sense of smell provides you an opportunity to sense danger again in the form of something, whether you're in an area and something doesn't smell right. So it kind of, puts you on alert, like, okay, what the hell is that smell, or where's it coming from? And then also before you eat something, it goes under your nose. And the funny thing with me is my mom. Oh my goodness, it used to crack me up. But I don't know if she was, if she was doing it for survival. But before she ate something, she would smell it, and then she would eat it. And my brothers and I would crack up, like, she didn't mean any harm, but that was just her. So I don't know if it was a country girl thing or what, but yeah, I mean, it's, oh my god, it just looked funny, never, she just and she would eat or she wouldn't eat, but I just never adopted that. But as I was learning, saying I knew why she was doing it at the time, but as far as having an understanding as I do of why, so I maybe something, maybe it was started when she was younger, what I'm saying? So that was yeah. Woo wee, yeah, she gonna smell your food. She put it in her mouth. So with the sense of smell, again, that's something physical. So with survival, or it allows you to make a decision. Yeah, like I said, I'm not that outward with it, but you're gonna catch a whiff of it. But so you can see out in the wild how that can be used and beneficial for survival, and then also right now, and the attack on our sense of smell is so blatant and ridiculous that you don't have any clue. I mean, number one, everything has a scent to it that's not natural. So out in the wild, you're used to smelling. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can smell. Just think of like you say, lions. Lions can smell blood from miles away. Like, what? How you smell a drop of blood from miles away? That is insane. And then to think of, like, I remember watching whatever show I was watching years ago before I even fully got onto this path, that the difference between our sense of smell and a dog's sense of smell. For instance, I ain't want to use this example, but that's what's on top of the head. Not advertising, but you walk into McDowell's, and we walk into McDowell's, and we get smell a Big Mick. We smell the Big Mick, right? So we go in and we smell the Big Mick, but so that means that what we know as the Big Mick is everything that's contained within the composition of the Big Mick. But when a dog goes into McDonald's and smells the Big Mick, it smells the bun, it smells the seeds on the bun, it smells the pickles, it smells the ketchup, it smells the meat, the cheese, mayonnaise, anything that's on it, it smells it individually. And I was like, damn, whew, it would be so interesting to have that sense of smell. But then on the other end, I definitely see the reason why I would like mine to be increased, but not increased to the sensitivity of a dog, because you you can only if you could smell a Big Mick, each individual ingredient, you can imagine what you'd be smelling around people. So out in the wild, that was definitely beneficial. So I know that we smell way better. So now the barrage and the attack on our sense of smell, everything has perfume in it. It has an odor, it has a scent. You wash your clothes, it's Mountain Berry Fresh. If you use fabric softener, it's clothesline this mixed with this, and everything smells so good, and the smell lasts for like 4 weeks, and you just get used to a false sense of what you're supposed to be smelling naturally. And it desensitizes your sense of smell because the parabens and everything else get into the pores, and you don't distinguish. So everything that you're smelling is in the artificial world. So like your candles, your again, your dishwashing liquid, your washing powder, your soap, your cologne, you know what I'm saying? just so many things as odors. For instance, all right, and then this one, when you go into a grocery store, I'm pretty sure at one point in time you used to smell food or food products, fruit, or you would smell something, but now all you smell is damn whatever. What is it? The smell like a damn laundromat. You know what I'm saying? The overbearing smell it are those heavily perfumed items as far as again the dishwashing not dishwashing the laundry detergent, laundry liquid and stuff like that. The stuff that's that everybody like, oh, that smells so refreshing, but don't realize you're really killing yourself because you should be out smelling fresh air, putting oxygen in your lungs, you know what I'm saying, and getting used to the smells out. But we're not in that age anymore. So it lost its value to others, but this is something to be aware of. You're burning your candles. Look at the ingredients. Don't get them cheap ass candles and you're making the house smell, but you don't know what chemicals are burning. You got to be aware of the stuff, and this is the stuff that they're doing and knowingly, but it's up to you. They didn't tell you to go buy the candles. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell you to buy the air freshener. You could have opened up the window where you could get essential oils and stuff that is natural, that works within our biology because it is in its natural form. But to go get the whatever, and you feeling me? So that's the attack on the nose. Is and you get out in the wild, you're not going to know what you're not going to know because you're used to smelling produced smells or fabricated smells, synthetic smells. So now we're going to taste. Okay, so you got your taste and which is the tongue, and so that's already jacked up by us eating I ain't say GMOs, but what do you call it? It's gonna pop in my head. But the food that's already made, you know what I'm saying? All the chemicals, all of high concentration of sodium and a bunch of other 15 syllable words with chemicals and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're out in nature. The tongue is to again alert you to danger. You take a bite of that fruit or that vegetable and okay, that's not good. If your eyes didn't catch it, but now it made it to your mouth, it passed the smell test. But once your tongue hits it, and if it tastes nasty, spit it out. But the attack on that again, the sodium, all this other stuff, and just you remove yourself so far from. I mean, just the funny thing to me is when I hear people say, "Don't drink water because it doesn't have any taste." What the hell is that? And yeah, just even before I got on this, that always sounded funny to me. And to a degree, I could feel them, but that was when I was younger. When it had to be Kool-Aid or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And water. That was if I was out on the field. If I was playing, I was doing something active, go hit somebody water hose. But if it was up to me, straight Kool-Aid and lemonade. That's it. So with that being as such, as far as like I said, that's taste. Hi. So basically, you're saying that you don't want to survive because surviving has no taste or no flavor. There's no flavor in surviving. That's really truly what you're saying when you look at it on a deeper scale than just something to come out your mouth. So yeah, your water. The better your water, the purer your water. Again, distilled water. People argue, oh, it leaches your vitamins and da da da. But if you're doing your body as it should be done, treating your body as it should be done, that distilled water will be your 93 octane. Straight. That's pure water. That's water. That's God in its purest form. And without adding anything, distilled water, and then you got your different levels, purified and da da da, alkaline, da da da, all the way down to water out of your sink. And again, the water out of the sink, chlorine and fluoride and whatever other stuff they sprinkle in there that you don't know about. But, work yourself to getting straight water. I mean, when you look at sodas, and I think it's upwards between, I think it's debated whether it's between 8 teaspoons to 12 teaspoons per can of soda. Per can of soda. So if you're somebody that drinks a 12-pack of soda every day, just imagine that shit that's caked in your body that's gonna be shutting down your organs, gonna become cancerous pretty soon, become ulcers, gonna eat through the lining. I mean, look, I suggest find a video where somebody has set some cola and let it, either they burned off the liquid and see that the sludge just left, or they let it evaporate naturally. You need to see that, because you got to look at where else is it going. What you piss out is the liquid. All the other stuff stays because you're not flushing it out with oxygen, pure water, vegetables, and fruits. That's how you clean your body. So just touching on the physical aspect and the barrage on shutting us down. So that's all of this stuff is leading to our sicknesses. We're out of harmony. We're diseased, diseased, not in ease no more. Just by these five senses, and that's where they're attacked. But you don't look at it as that. You just look at it as, oh, well, I can't see no more. Oh, well, let me get some glasses. But rather than knowing that, you can prepare your eyes. You can do exercises. You can eat differently, and it can be done. It's done. It has been done. I mean, not that there's pictures, but I'm sure back in the early days, people weren't walking around with glasses. I can pretty much guarantee it. I mean, if they did, the one little monocle or whatever, but excuse me. All right, so dang. All right, well, your vitamins and you can repair yourself. You don't need to go the route that they're telling you that you need to put artificial stuff in there. All that does is just cover the symptom, but it doesn't go to the root. True cures, true health and wellness is curing, is stopping, putting it into reversing it and putting it back in harmony so it can operate within the structure of everything else within your body. Experience yourself operating at optimal peak performance again, whether you have or not. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you have to want to do. You can't sit around and wait for these damn people to put this stuff in you and you walking around thinking they got the best for you. And come on, this day and age, it don't even boggle my mind anymore. I just I just look at it and shake my head and just like, wow. So that's why I'm, in front of this camera and I'm sharing, like I said, reaching that one. So, so the five senses that we have, the physical senses now, within going in my path and where I'm going, they're learn about, I'm going to say spiritual for the sake of conversation, but spirit means something that's unseen that can't be touched. So, you know what I'm saying? Something you can't put your hands on it. It's not physical and it's etheric, but it's something that is within us. So, it was put to me, you got your five senses, so your sixth sense, the sixth sense, that movie was out. So that's, and you hear, they got a sixth sense, the sixth sense, the sixth sense. What is the sixth sense? But what I'm going to do, again, I touched on the physical. Now I'm going to touch on the spiritual. So you have your mind, you have your will, you have your emotions, imagination, and intellect. Mind, will, emotions, imagination, and intellect. Those are your five senses. So with your physical ones, you know without a doubt that, well, if you don't know, before I get on the spiritual ones. Again, if your body, one of your senses shut down, your other ones get sensitive. So I remember watching TV where blind people have a super duper increased hearing, like beyond ridiculous. So the demonstration was, when they had their walking stick, they're tapping, and they're able to hear the echo of the tap, and if there's an obstacle there. So they're not just tapping to find their way physically, because that's how somebody with vision would see that, okay, he's trying to, no, he's tapping the stick and listen to the way that the echo vibrates off of an object. And that was, ooh, like, oh my goodness, that. And so what ended up being, they got somebody that would, had regular vision, that wasn't blind, but he practiced and trained himself to where he was able to do that just as a blind person was able to do. And I was like, that was some of the most amazing stuff I even heard. So basically, your ear hearing can react as a sonar, like bats. You know what I'm saying? Bats fly around in the dark, and they say that they could fly through piano wire and not touch anything in the dark. So when your body shuts down, so now going over here to the spiritual. So this was part of the super duper major breakthrough. When this was expounded, it was like, good gosh, it made sense. So you got your mind, you got your will, emotions, intellect, and imagination. So understanding that it's all about balance. You live in life, it's about balance. You know what I'm saying? If it gets too hot, then you got to make it a little cold. So get your balance. Get the happy medium. So these five senses are really what jack people up. These are the ones that jack you up because you're out of balance. It's either you have to get a perfect balance. It has to. So, for instance, okay, somebody that is only strong in their mind. That means they're lacking in their will, their emotion, their intellect, and their imagination. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just strong-minded. You know what I'm saying? That's all they know. So their mind is strong, but all the rest of them are weak. So the mind is compensating for the weak four. That's not how it operates. So you strong-minded, you don't have, you may not have willpower. You just got that strong mind to talk shit to people and tell people what to do. But when it comes to your emotions or your imagination or your intellect, you're lacking. Somebody that has a lot of willpower, but they don't have a strong mind, they don't have the intellect or the imagination or the emotion to go behind it. You know what I'm saying? You can see the imbalance. And somebody that's highly emotional, they cry a lot, or they quick to fire, and they don't have the mind, they don't have control over their intellect, they don't have control over, their imagination. And then same thing with imagination. That's the person, get your head out the clouds and come back to reality, and so on and so forth. So with that five-spoke wheel, you got to have balance. And I know myself when I was younger, but coming into this, once this was exposed to me, I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. So again, I'm just sharing my experiences. It may not be yours, but I could acknowledge to myself that either my imagination, intellect, and my mind, that's what I led with. As far as emotions and the will, depending if I wanted to do it or not, but the mind and the mind, but pretty hard to say this, the mind and the intellect, yeah, that's what I'm putting in front of you. That's what you're getting. You're getting the mind and the intellect right here. Boom. Emotions, that's for them. Willpower, if I want to do it, when I want to do it, we get it done. And like I said, I could throw imagination in there, but I'm not going to make it seem like I'm pumping it up. But so I'm just going to say those are my two prevalent ones, because I don't, anyway. So when that was, broke down and put like that, like, well, damn, I could see that, what I'm saying? Real life, myself, and then the people around me and people I dealt with, I began to see like, wow, I wonder if they know that if they're out of balance, that's why things aren't going right in life. And like I said, these are things that I acknowledge and accepted about myself to allow me to advance to even get to this point where I'm sitting in front of this camera. Because when I was at that point in life, if I didn't have a football in my hand, I'm gonna be in front of no camera. So So then it was like, okay, you got to balance yourself out. You got to allow yourself, at first acknowledge your strong points. And then, like I said, I tell you, I share with you, don't focus on the weak stuff, but you have to acknowledge it if you're going to repair it. You know what I'm saying? If, like you said, that squeaky down the quiet wheel don't get oil. You know what I'm saying? You don't need the squeaky wheel, the one that's making noise. Okay, that's where the attention needs to go. So this is something that you have to evaluate within yourself. Or if you feel that you need to speak to somebody or whatever, then, you do that. But all of this is something that's self-work. This is that self-work. This is you. You have to do this. This is self-work. You got to be the one that be real with yourself. If you strong-minded, or even, like say you're emotional, you're highly emotional, your emotions run wild, and then everything else, you slay and kill everything. And then after the mayhem, you look back and, oh, my bad. I didn't know. Or, come on. Maturity. You got to grow. You want to get to whatever depths of levels of increasing or leveling up or whatever you want to call it. You got to, this is what it is. So your mind, your mental, and your mind leads everything. Again, I shared that's rule number one. All is mental, the mind. Either you control it or somebody else will. And right now, there's a bunch of people that won't acknowledge they're being led around somebody else controlling their mind. They forgot how to think. They're scared to think. They don't know what to think. Just whatever reason they have, they're not thinking. Like they forgot. It's illegal. Don't think, man, and people ain't gonna talk to you, or whatever. It's silly. So then, they said your will. You know what I'm saying? You're strong will, but you don't have the mind. So basically the strong will person, that's the one that, you give them the orders, you give them the plan, and we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's, like I said, none of these, I'm saying, are bad traits, but all being the primary or the lead, as far as, leading everything else, it'll result issues. Again, it's all balance. So the person with the willpower, you know what I'm saying, they're the steadfast person. They're, like you said, they're the one that you want on the team. This is what we're gonna do. So that's what they know. But everything else, they fall back. Excuse me. Then the emotionals, the emotions, the emos. Yeah, it's good to be, they have the emotion, but in balance. To be over emotional about things, things get out of whack. You don't perceive things properly as they should be. You don't assess situations as best as you possibly could if you didn't let your emotions lead you. When you all emotional, everything is intensified by a million. Everything. So your imagination, one that big dreams, that's what happened. Imagination. You think. Okay, it doesn't, take much for you to see a bigger picture or another way to do something, because your mind is churning, is used to, it takes experiences, and then it can relate to other things, and then it can take it and make it whatever it wants to be, whatever you want it to be. The intellectual person is the one that, knows everything, can't tell them anything. And, you can be so smart that you're not smart. I can say honestly, like sharing, with people, I share something that, oh, I know that, but don't realize that you're cutting yourself off. Once you tell yourself, you say, something, your brain shuts off. Your conscious mind shuts off. Like, okay, we know this. So you're really killing yourself. So rather than saying, I'm aware of it or I'm familiar with it, continue to speak so you could grab more and build off of it. Once you say you know it, you cut yourself off, and then you don't want to hear anything else. But then once you hear conflicting information, now you really jacked up, because you know it all. You're smart. You're intellectual. So don't exist outside of what I know. All right. So now taking all of those and balancing them, and it takes work. You have anything that's being expressed to you and shared with you is something that you have to want to do. You can't say you want to do it and then don't put in the work. You can't say that you're going to do it, and because somebody else is doing it, or they're doing it. This is something that each individual has to do individually within themselves. This is that self work. Work on yourself. Self work for self improvement to increase your self worth. So your mind, as I shared before, I use an example, as a open receptacle, and then I use soil. Whatever, the soil, that's your mind. Anything that's going to grow from you, it starts in the mind first. It does. It has to. It comes from the ether, the air, atmosphere, in the form of information. And once it gets into your mind, the rest is on you. So you can relate the mind to soil, because whatever's going to come out of you, it has to come in the mind first. So that's the soil. So then your will. All right. So your will is your shovel or your rototiller. All right. So you get it in your mind. And so the will is when you decide, okay, this is what I want to do. This is where I'm going, or whatever your decision is, that's your will. So now it's breaking up the soil. You know what I'm saying? So it's softening it up for the next part of the process. So your will is the shovel and the tiller. So that breaks up and softens up the soil for the next part. So then once you got your soil right, you know what I'm saying, your mind is right. Okay, now it's nice. You got the dark, deep, rich soil that the worms were in, and got oxygen and nutrients and so on and so forth. So now you got your emotions, and I said nutrients, but you got your emotions, and your emotions can be like the sucker repellent or the insecticide or whatever to nurture that soil. Now to put the ingredient to enhance it. Once you put your emotions behind it, so you got your soil, got it broken up, with the shovel and the tiller. Now when you put your emotions in it, now you're putting nutrients in it, or you putting insecticide. So that's basically you're prepping it. Now you're getting ready for the next. So if there's something there as far as weeds or anything that you don't desire that's in your soil, you get it up out of there. So then you add your imagination. Now, when you add your imagination, the imagination is are the seeds. So now, you know what I'm saying, you done broke the ground up, you done churned it, and got the nutrients, insecticide, or whatever that's going to keep the suckers or the weeds away. Now it's ready for the seeding. So now with your imagination, so the thoughts that you had and the thoughts that you have, and now you start implanting your seeds in your head, in your soil. You prepare yourself to manifest what you want. Stop going through life allowing others to put stuff in you to manifest what they want. See, this is, again, self-work. It's for you. It's not for me. It's not for he. It's not for she. It's not for they. It's for you. This is what you have to do for yourself if you choose to break free of whatever you got holding you back. Again, you got the soil, you got it broke up, you got the nutrients, you got the sucker repellent. Then you put your seeds in. Now, you put your seeds in however deep you want to put the seeds. Nice. Your imagination. Now, you have to feed it. Now you have to feed them thoughts or them dreams or them wishes or those desires. And that's where the intellect comes in. The intellect is the know-how, comes from the experience. It comes from the experience. So your intellect, your plan of action. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I want to be whatever you choose you want to be. And in order to do that, you have to have a plan. So that's where the intellect comes in, because you have to allow yourself to be a visionary. And within being a visionary, you get that vision, you have to be able to execute that, or at least move in that direction. That's it. So you got your soil, which is your mind. That's it. Either you're going to have the control of the soil, or somebody else is. Are you ready to stop sharecropping your brain? Are you? You have to ask yourself: Are you done with sharecropping? Are you allowing somebody to plant something inside of your head for their benefit? Or it's going to get old. Then you know what I'm saying. Your willpower. You know what I'm saying. You nurture that. You know, hey, let's get it. You know, once you got the mind right, now put that willpower behind it. You know, and will, W-I-L-L, is just like the wheel, W-H-E-E-L. It's in motion. It turns. It generates. So again, you know, you got your emotions. So those are nutrients, the sucker repellent, the weedicide or whatever herbicide, whatever you put in there. If you're going all natural, you're going chemicals or whatever. But basically, you're making sure that nothing that you do not desire to be in this soil will thrive. Nothing. That's what you have to do. This is on you. This is your garden. This is your head. This is your mental. Again, if you don't plant something there, somebody's going to plant it. Then they're going to come harvest it. Your imagination. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? What do you want to have? I mean, it's endless. It's up to you. Again, as you start to begin to come into your own and understand, understand yourself, you're going to be limitless. And you have to get to the point where you can accept that. Right now, I'm sure I sound like I'm probably just swallow the fifth of whatever, but I'm good. So again, then you got your intellect. You know, that's the border and the sun. Now you providing the necessary ingredients or stimulation or whatever for those seeds to grow. It needs the water and it needs the sun. Without those two, you ain't got nothing. So you're the sun, you're the water. So once you get those thoughts and you decide and choose to do their work or your work, it's up to you. That's what you're there for. You're the farmer now. You know what I'm saying? It's you. You have to be able to do that with your thoughts. So then that's, so when you look at it like that, you can see how each one is important to the other. Because if you didn't have soil, what good would the shovel be, the nutrients, the sucker repellent, the seeds, or the water and sun? Yeah, it'd be, all of it can be used, but it's not going to be used for you. Then what good is, everything else without a shovel or a rototiller? What are you going to use, to break the ground up? You're going to use your fingers? How deep are you going to plant your seeds? You're going to use a rock? You got things that you can do, but that you can use to substitute, but you have it yourself. Why you need to go get something from somebody else when you have everything? And that's another thing. Everything that you ever need in this dimension, you already have. You just don't know it. And the reason why you don't know it is because nobody wants you to know it and they don't want you to believe you know it. So again, you hear somebody speak like myself, yeah, I'm full of this and full of that, but I'm the polar opposite of that. So then same thing with the emotions. You ain't got the emotion, you ain't got the nutrients and sucker repellent. Weeds gonna override anything that you do. Imagine again, negativity in your life. Weeds. You're attempting and working towards something and you just got weeds all around your legs and arms and just pulling on you and bogging you down, weighing you down. And again, get out there with them scissors, cut them, dig them up, throw them away if it's not working. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the emotions are for. And please understand that each one has a negative and a positive. I'm just speaking on the positive with these in particular. Then imagine you're in, no imagination. So you done prepped the ground, you done broke the ground. You know what I'm saying? You got the nutrients, but you ain't got no seeds, you ain't got no thoughts, and you got the sun and the sun and the sun and water, but you didn't plant any seeds. So now again, the ground looks good to go, and something's going to land there. Why not it be yours? Then same thing with the your intellect. You don't have the intellect. You're not providing the water and the sun. Somebody else or something else is going to provide it, or your dreams and aspirations are just going to die. That's it. So again, those are the five senses that can definitely, once you grasp that and really take it in and truly look at it for what it is, you begin to harmonize yourself and you begin to balance yourself. So if you're not at the person that has that willpower, that's something that you can work on. You know what I'm saying? You could go from the little hand shovel. Now you got the big ditch digging shovel. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? You got the, you using little seeds. Now you're going to get the pure straight nature seeds, natural seeds. Once you purify yourself and you detox yourself, so now your imagination, you're vibrating on a hella higher frequency. Your thoughts and your ability to manifest, everything's going to increase. The lighter you are, believe it, the more energy goes through you, the more light, the more life you have. The more bogged down you are, you're killing yourself slowly. Just as it was shared, people say they're overweight. What that means is you're over waste. You have an abundance of waste in your body. Fat is fat reserves, you know what I'm saying? But when are you going to allow your body to burn off that fat that is being stored? That's waste. That's all it is waste. So you're carrying around 15, 20, 40, 60, 80 pounds of waste. Yeah, that's what you're doing. But that goes in with this, but that's just meaning your mind. Once you put yourself into yourself, you see, you have to acknowledge, yeah, eating at McDonald's, some deadly stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sodas and so on and so forth. Again, I'm not claiming perfection, but I'm definitely moving in that direction, and I'm good. I'm speaking on it. Then, all right, so now the sixth sense. So again, the five. We got the mind, the will, emotion, intellect, and imagination. The sixth sense is your intuition. If you can't balance out these five, your sixth sense is as good as gone. You can't have good intuition without these other five. These other five make your intuition possible, or strengthens it and improves it and enhances it. You have to have these in balance or be working to get these in balance. Again, look at it as a wheel with the spokes. You got to get them spokes. You got to get that rim right. You don't want that wobble. You want that smooth. That's what you want. You don't want to hitting the side of the bar like on a bicycle when you jack up the back of your rim. So your intuition is only is your third eye, your pineal gland, called the chakra. But again, I know it as a resistor. So in order to even get to that area, you got to put these five together. Again, these are the ones that are spiritual, the ones that can't be seen, but they are a part of you. They're way more a part of you than the physical, to put it in perspective. So yeah, this is inside of you. This is self-contained in the dome. Mind, will, emotion, intellect, imagination. Your intuition, that's your sixth sense. That's wisdom beyond wisdom, beyond wisdom, beyond wisdom. Vision beyond vision, beyond vision, beyond vision. That third eye, but better called as the first eye, that's definitely the one that is suffering by them attacking the physical. So everything I outlined as far as the sight, feel, smell, hearing, and taste, all of those are directly affecting that intuition, third eye. It's calcifying from the chemicals, the metals, the food, and just the unhealthy way of treating yourself. Again, treat yourself like that damn $80,000 car. Now imagine if you did certain things to that car. Like I said, people upset you put 87 octane in the vehicle. Now imagine the water, the quality of the water that you're putting in your body is calcifying your pineal gland. You may not even understand what a pineal gland or the benefit of it, but research it, check it out, find out. The food, the chemicals, the metal, all that is calcifying. So you will never be able to fully experience yourself as close to operating in its optimal, state. You remove yourself. So again, treat yourself better than an $80,000 car. Do yourself better than an $80,000 car. Tremendously better. That is, if you feel you deserve it. But if you don't feel that you're better than that $80,000 car, you gotta look at it. The $80,000 car is there because of you. So that's you living vicariously through a vehicle because you treat the vehicle better than you treat yourself. That's backwards. That's backwards. All right. So in short, again, you got your 5 physical senses: sight, feel, smell, hearing, and touch. Taste, excuse me. Sight, feel, hearing, touch, and taste. You got your 5. So those are your physical ones. Be mindful. Anything that's wrong, there are natural ways to enhance or improve them. You work your way from going to the sorcerers dealing with poison. Then you got your spiritual ones. You got your mind, will, emotion, intellect, and imagination. Yeah, these are ones you have to work at. This is that self-work. You have to want it. It's okay to talk about it, but you got to be beyond about it. You got to put yourself in balance. People may not want to understand what you're doing. They may not like you because now you're operating in balance, but that's something that you have to do, that you have to desire. If you want to do things in your life beyond where you are, you got to do something different. If you're not where you are right now, obviously something has to change. And the change is not anybody outside of you. It's in you. Then once you get all that in balance, your physical with your spiritual, then that intuition. Now you can see beyond sight. You can hear before the noise. You be able to feel somebody's vibration and energy when they approach you or before they open their mouth. You see all. Again, not Mr. Biblical. But when thine eye is single, the body will be filled with light. And that eye cannot be single with a bunch of sludge in it. A bunch of shit. Again, information is light. Light is energy. I appreciate the time and energy. I am Keystone. I'm a synthesizer of energy, frequencies, and information that generates increases of consciousness, self-awareness, and self-love. For those who do not know who they are or the power they possess, this is Code Red. Enjoy your day.